friends, welcome to our vast dental world. Today's our topic is hypoglossal nerve. Before starting with hypoglossal nerve, let's see what is cranial nerves. Cranial nerves are a set of 12 pairs of nerves that arises directly from the brain, which connects the brain to the different parts of head, neck and trunk. It supplies muscles of eyeball, face, palate, pharynx, larynx, tongue and two large muscles of neck. Cranial nerves can be described as sensory, motor, or mixed according to their functions. Some exhibit sensory function, some motor function, and some both sensory and motor function. Their number has Roman letters 1 to 12 number according to the proximity from front of the head. The first two cranial nerves, that is optic and olfactory, which arises from the cerebrum, and rest of the 10 cranial nerves from the brainstem. They arises from different parts of brainstem, either from midbrain, pons, medulla, or from junction between two parts. Midbrain, fourth cranial nerve, that is trochlear nerve, which arises from the posterior side of midbrain. It has the longest intracranial length of all the cranial nerves. Midbrain Pontine junction, oculomotor nerve which arises from the midbrain Pontine junction, trigeminal nerve which arises from the pons, abducens, facial and vestibulocochlear nerves which arises from the Pontine medulla junction. Medulla oblongata posterior to olive, vagus, glossopharyngeal and accessory nerves arises, and anterior to the olive, hypoglossal nerve arises. These are the cranial nerves: olfactory, optic, oculomotor, trochlear, trigeminal, abducent, facial, vestibulocochlear, glossopharyngeal, vagus, accessory and hypoglossal. Categorization of cranial nerves can be done by afferent and efferent components. Sensory contain only afferent fibers, motor contains only efferent fibers, mixed contains both sensory and motor fibers. Now let's start with hypoglossal nerve. Hypoglossal nerve is the 12th cranial nerve. It is purely a motor nerve. It supplies all the extrinsic and intrinsic muscles of the tongue except the palatoglossus. Palatoglossus is supplied by the 11th cranial nerve. It passes beneath the tongue, thus the name hypoglossal. Here you can see this is the hypoglossal nerve. Functional components or nuclear components. The nuclei subserving similar functions lies in longitudinal groups or columns referred to as functional columns. General somatic efferent column and general somatic efferent column. General somatic efferent column, the fibers arises from the hypoglossal nucleus which lies in the medulla in the floor of fourth ventricle deep to the hypoglossal triangle. General somatic efferent column, the nucleus is mesencephalic nucleus of fifth cranial nerve where proprioceptive fibers from tongue end. Nucleus. Hypoglossal nucleus is 2 cm long. It lies in the fourth ventricle. It is divided into two parts. A part for genioglossus, other part for rest of the muscles. Nucleus for genioglossus muscle receives only contralateral corticonuclear fibers. Nucleus for rest of the lingual muscles receives both ipsilateral and contralateral corticonuclear fibers. Here this is the hypoglossal nucleus. And this dotted line is motor fibers to genioglossus, and this is motor fibers to all muscles except the genioglossus. Here you can see contralateral innervation to genioglossus muscle, and here you can see the bilateral innervation to tongue muscles. Course and relations. Intraneural course. The fibers pass forwards lateral to the medial longitudinal bundle, medial lemniscus and pyramidal tract, medial to reticular formation and olivary nucleus. Nervus attached to anterolateral sulcus of medulla between the olive and pyramid by 10 to 15 rootlets. The rootlets run laterally behind the vertebral artery and join to form two bundles which pierce the dura mater separately near the hypoglossal canal. The nerve leaves the skull through hypoglossal canal. Hypoglossal canal is also known as anterior condylar foramen. Here this is the hypoglossal nucleus, medial longitudinal bundle, medial lemniscus, pyramid, reticular formation, inferior olivary nucleus, hypoglossal nerve passing through hypoglossal canal to innervate the muscles of tongue. Extracranial course. The nerve first lies deep to the internal jugular vein, then descends between internal jugular vein and internal carotid artery, crosses the vagus laterally and reaches in front of vagus, deep to parotid gland styloid process and posterior belly of digastric. At lower border of posterior belly of digastric, it curves forwards and crosses the internal and external carotid arteries and loop of lingual artery and passes deep to posterior belly of digastric to enter the submandibular region. The nerve continues forwards on the hyoglossus and styloglossus deep to submandibular gland and mylohyoid and enter the substance of tongue to supply all its intrinsic and extrinsic muscles except the palatoglossus. Branches and distribution. The branches containing fibers of hypoglossal nerve proper. They supply the extrinsic and intrinsic muscles of tongue. We all know that there are 8 muscles in each half of the tongue, out of which 7 are supplied by the hypoglossal nerve. Extrinsic muscles of tongue originates from the bone and extends to the tongue. Styloglossus from styloid process to the tongue, which elevates and retracts the tongue. Hyoglossus from hyoid bone to the tongue, which depresses and retracts the tongue. Genioglossus from genioid tubercles of mandible to the tongue, which protract, retract and depress the tongue. Retraction and depression more at the tip of the tongue. Intrinsic muscles originates within the tongue. They alter the shape of the tongue. Inferior longitudinal. It is a narrow band lying close to the inferior surface of the tongue between the genioglossus and hyoglossus. It shortens the tongue and makes the dorsum concave. Transverse extends from the median septum to the margins, make the tongue narrow and elongated. Vertical found at the border of anterior part of the tongue. It makes the tongue Broad and flattened. Superior longitudinal lies beneath the mucous membrane. It shortens the tongue and makes the dorsum convex. Branches of hypoglossal nerve containing fibers of nerve C1. These fibers join the nerve at the base of the skull. Meningeal branch contains the sensory and sympathetic fibers. It enters the skull through hypoglossal canal and supplies the bone and meninges in the anterior part of posterior cranial fossa. The descending branch continuous has descendants hypoglossy or upper root of ansa cervicalis. Branches are also given to thyrohyoid and geniohyoid muscles. Here you can see the branches to muscles of tongue, to geniohyoid muscle, to thyrohyoid muscle, and the ansa cervicalis to infrahyoid muscle. Clinical anatomy. Hypoglossal nerve is tested clinically by asking the patient to protrude his or her tongue. Normally, the tongue is protruded straight forwards. If the nerve is paralyzed, tongue deviates to the paralyzed side. In case of infranuclear lesion of hypoglossal nerve produces paralysis of tongue on that side, that is gradual atrophy of paralyzed half of the tongue. The tongue looks shrunken. Supranuclear lesion of hypoglossal nerve causes paralysis without wasting. The bulkiness of the tongue would not be reduced. The tongue moves sluggishly, resulting in defective speech. On protrusion, the tongue deviates to the opposite side. Hypoglossal nerve is the 12th cranial nerve. It arises from the hypoglossal nucleus and exits through the hypoglossal canal. It supplies all the extrinsic and intrinsic muscles of tongue except the palatoglossus. Any injury to the hypoglossal nerve can cause atrophy of tongue, inability to protrude tongue, defective speech and swallowing. Thank you. If you like my video, please like, share and subscribe my channel.